talking about a Soul Ring, being the new support item, sort of, not really. Let me break Soul Ring down a bit. I think a lot of us still are confused. I'm a bit confused as well. So take what I'm gonna say in the next couple of minutes with a grain of salt here. It's constant regain for both mana and HP. Regain wise, it's pretty terrible compared to Perseverance in terms of regain per gold, compared to Bottle, compared to Urn, compared to the Magic Stick. Um, Regain wise, in my opinion, is pretty terrible. It's there, it's pretty cool. A little bit helps, right? Um, Burst mana regain though adds a whole lot of spiel in the Dota Play-Doh forum. There's a lot of talk about it. One of the biggest thing that players pointed out is the Necrolite. Soul Ring on Necrolite. If you pop it, you get an instant heal back, so you're not really losing any HP, but you get a free nuke off. Um, yeah, that's one way you could use it. Nebula has loved it on his Quap. You could even get more farmer, but he's a crack addict for mana on any hero because he likes to spam on creeps. But basically, what it does is just let you farm more. That's the one use of it. I got on Dragon Knight, really great, really great. Every 26-second free fire spam in neutral. Got me my radiance a lot faster. Got me my whatever item a lot faster. Really good on AFK farmers. If you're just hiding in the jungle, just racking at creeps, you don't really care that much about your HP, and especially on things like the Dragon Knight or a Necrolite, HP is not really an issue when you can heal it back. Another huge use is on strength gankers. Strength gankers can afford of losing that 150 HP. That Tiny, that Earthshaker, that Sand King, that Sven is gonna love it, because they could gank more effectively. 150 more mana means one more nuke, and I'm not sure about you, but a lot of ganks and counter ganks can be changed by one nuke. And keep in mind those guys I just mentioned are AOE nukers. Could mean a big battle, mean a big difference in team fight or whatnot. For one thing I want to point out, with Sand King, Earthshaker, Sven and whatnot, is that it's really interesting to see how pro player is gonna go with the route of the items. Because Soul Ring is great, however, it's 800 gold. 800 gold is gonna cut into the bottle, it's gonna cut into the dagger, and all of those heroes I mentioned need it. So it's really interesting to see what item they're gonna get first. I still prefer the bottle. I still prefer that urn because it's more roaming oriented. It fits better with the current metagame. However, Soul Ring does provide that burst, and that's what this metagame is about too. It's really interesting to see what's gonna get cut here. Are they gonna cut the bottle? Are they gonna offer a later blink dagger? It's really interesting, and right now I haven't seen any pro players using Soul Ring just yet. So it's gonna be a really exciting stage until we see it later. Okay, so the second new item is Ethereal Blade. Okay, Ethereal Blade has got me confused and scratching my head as well as a lot of people on Play-Doh forum, which is really, it's kind of a double-edged sword at most times. It's disenergizing at most times, or at all times. It's quite disenergizing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just pause this real fast and go read the changelog and just find out what Ethereal Blade does, because it does some crazy weird ass things. Your noob has done a great job and provide me the exact mathematics. Basically, it'll do 2.6 times your agility after all the hero magic resistance and after Ethereal Blade's innate boost of whatever. So it basically does 2.6 of your agility. Now you get, but the thing is, when you cast that thing on your enemy, you can't really attack him anymore. So, and of course you get the Ghost Staff ability, but you get nuke harder. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, really pause it and go back and read the changelog, because what I'm going to talk about right now will make absolutely no sense if you don't know what Ethereal Blade does, like all the niches and what it exactly do. So Ethereal Blade, first thing first, Ghost Staff works really well on Orb Walkers, because you could Ghost Staff and still attack. It's pretty gay. With Viper, with a Silencer, with the Drill Ranger, you could attack out of a Ghost Staff. And Ethereal Blade is just an extension of that. You can still attack out of it from if you cast that on an enemy and you get that Ethereal ability on you, you can still attack out of it. So really, but the thing is, in a current burst metagame, if you get that it's basically a decryptify on yourself. If you get decryptify, basically you're choosing to decryptify yourself, and decryptify I guess they're make the main physical DPSer. In a current nuke metagame, it's pretty much suicide if you decryptify yourself. Of course, there's also the other side of the coin. You're decryptifying their hero, so you're kind of killing them too at the same time. And of course, you're always doing it in your own account. You know, you're not gonna decryptify when you're actually like you don't want to, right? You want to decryptify. Basically, you have the ability to call the shots, and that makes a kind of a big difference in team fights and whatnot. However, the thing is that you get the Ethereal Blade on agility heroes, and agility heroes generally don't have that much HP, and when you know decryptifying yourself, you're gonna die really really quickly, especially with hopefully Lina coming back or lying in the pool, like just boom, you're dead. Like Zeus coming back, like really, if you Ethereal Blade yourself or your opponent, things are gonna die really quickly. Now I talked extensively with your noob, and he really thinks that Ethereal Blade is the next big thing on Drill Ranger. Of course, I have talked about it. Drill Ranger could attack out of Ethereal, so she could still maintain her DPS. That plus 40 agility is just insane. Boost her damage, boost her attack speed. Everything is great. She has silence to compensate for the nuking damage. You know, even if you're ethereal, if they're silenced, they can't really do much about you. You basically get completely invulnerability if you play your cards right. If you ethereal, their main DPSer, physical DPSer, and of course you're immune to physical attack when you're ethereal. If you silence the rest, you're pretty much guaranteed to get free wax off for a couple of seconds. And with Drill Ranger's increased attack speed coming from the agility and whatnot, really great on Drill Ranger. The build up works for Drill Ranger. Wraith Band works really well. Eagle Horn, of course, you love it on Drill Ranger. So everything's cool, but most of it is theory crafting, in my personal opinion. Drill Ranger does not have a lot of HP, so Lina, Lion, Zeus is gonna love it if they don't get silence. And that magical silence of Drill Ranger, although 6 seconds, doesn't have infinite AOE. So if you just miss one or two heroes, you're pretty much fucked. In my opinion, Drill Ranger benefits more so from a butterfly, really, and they both cost pretty much the same. I will leave the Ethereal Blade debates and arguments to you. Like I pretty much place my own opinion that I believe butterfly is superior as a T4 item in comparison of a similar build up. I believe butterfly is better. It gives you that physical dodge. It gives you plus 60 attack speed, plus 60 damage. It just gives you a lot. I'm not sure if Ethereal Blade really can compare stack to stack with Butterfly, one of the best agility items out there. Another hero you might get Ethereal Blade on is might be a Bottom, but it requires a bit too much farm. It's really situational. I'm trying to say, Ghost Staff in itself is already really situational, and now Ice Rock just narrowed it really much to agility heroes. I don't think you will ever get it outside of agility hero because that plus 30 agility or 40 agility is pretty much wasted outside. Um, so I don't know. Ethereal Blade a very confusing item. Soul Ring on that same regard, confusing as well. So that's pretty much it for the 6.7 analysis. Just to kind of reiterate what I just said in the past, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Um, really loving the change. More ganks, more support, more pushing, more team fight. Big AOEs. We're gonna see that in the next coming patches. Hopefully newer heroes. The nerfs pretty much standard. Oh, forgot to make TIE Hunter nerf, of course. Um, really, that I don't think that's really a nerf. It's slower, sure, but I think the most input thing about TIE Hunter is this Kraken Shell. The fact that he could just walk in against all your nukes and However, Doom is coming back, so if you see that fucking Titan running in, you can Doom his ass, right? I mean, so even TIE Hunter gonna get a bit nerfed. Doom might be a really good pick nowadays. I'm just convincing myself. Doom, it's a pretty good pick. It's very situational, but he could wreck a strategy really well. Hopefully Zeus coming back more. Just really a wider, more diverse pool. We're gonna miss Ruffle Treelant. Slaughter has a really interesting buff or nerf. He makes his he takes more damage, but he could choose to sprint more and more carefully. So I don't think it's a buff or nerf in any sense. It just makes the Slaughter user to use his sprint carefully. So I think that's pretty much it. Really, Ice Rock is pushing the shorter games. However, like I pointed out earlier, that some of the hero specifics like Techies or Roof Treelant or Omni Knight or Leroic kind of goes for longer turtling games or like wait turtling for an item. So we'll see. Again, the nerfs are pretty much really much a well uh, needed Venge and everything. So I think pretty much it. I talked about a lot. I hope you guys didn't just treat it as rant. Like I said, I put a lot of thought into it and whatnot. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I would like to extend my thanks for the guys that I've been playtesting with, especially Nebula, especially Ernu, for talking a lot of strats with me. And finally, I would just like to reiterate, Blaze Attack, best item for farming, man. All right. This has been a 667 Dota analysis, especially the competitive level. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and that's it. GG.